you care? What a window it has been so far. Florian Wirtz in from Bayer Leverkusen. Jeremy Frimpong in for Bayer Leverkusen. Two friends there, by the way. Two quality signings. One of them a record signing. And of course, last week, Wirtz Kerkez from Bournemouth. One of the best kept secrets. Hungarian left fullback. Huge signings. Three huge signings. But is there more to come? Who would you like to come in? I still think we need a centre half. I know Crystal Palace's captain, Mark Gea, has been linked heavily. And of course, striker, number 9, whatever you want to call it. Nunez looks like he could be on his way to Napoli next week. We shall see. Jota got married, so I don't know what's going to happen there. I'd like Jota to stay. I just think he's an impact player from the bench. He's a fox in the box type of thing. But if we got rid of Nunez, we do need a striker in. So the question is, what type of striker are we going to bring in? I still think the Alexander Isak. I just think it's pie in the sky. I just cannot see us spending north of 130, 150 million on a striker after paying nearly 116 million on Wirtz. I just can't see it. We have the money, yes we do. Apparently we've another 200 million in the kitty, and PSR rules and stuff like that were okay, but I just can't see it in the window. Now it depends. Harvey Elliott, Kwanzaa played tonight for the England under 21s against Germany. Good luck to them and that at 8 o'clock tonight. And Harvey Elliott's had some tournament, hasn't he? He's really putting himself in the shop window. Let's hope both don't get injured tonight. Of course, we want both of them to pull through. But looks like Elliott, a lot of teams coming in from, should Liverpool keep him? I still think he should go if we can get a good price for maybe 40 or 50 million. He's young, he needs to play. I just don't think he's going to get enough game time at Liverpool next season. I just don't think so. Something like Brighton maybe would be a great fit for him. Maybe even Newcastle are being linked with him at the moment. Of course, Kwanzaa, all going well, will be a Bayer Leverkusen player probably next week for 30 million plus add-ons, and that gives Liverpool close to 70 or 80 million in the kitty. Nunez going maybe another 40 or 50 million. So if they sell those three, they basically almost recoup what they've spent, and then they can go for centre half, then they can go for striker, and there is a few more. Tyler Morton as well, or maybe Robertson. I don't know. I'd keep Robertson, to be fair, just to bed Kerkez in, maybe get rid of Tsimikas and keep Robertson, for a season or two. That experience, you cannot buy that experience. He's been there, he's done that, he's done everything. He still has legs, he still has minutes to give Liverpool, I think, and especially, as I say, experience as well. Scottish captain and all that. I would keep Robertson. The Atletico Madrid thing seems to have cooled. I think they've bought a player or looking at a different player now. So yeah, I'd keep Robertson, maybe look at Tsimikas moving on, maybe something like that with Kerkez, Robertson. Then you've got Frimpong Bradley on the other side. But then the question is centre halves. There is a big question mark over Ibu Kanate, of course. A lot of stuff coming out that he's only a year on his contract, and people talking about, will he sign? He wants a better deal. Will he go? PSG sniffing around, probably even Madrid sniffing around for next year. A year left. Liverpool need to make a decision. Do they give him a big bumper, huge contract, or do they let him go, or do they just let him run down the contract and let him go next summer? A lot of decisions to be made for Liverpool. Of course, Joe Gomez, if he can stay fit, he's a really good utility player to have. Endo can play centre half, but realistically, he's not a centre half, is he? So Van Dijk is there. He's not getting any younger. He's unbelievable season last year. 2 years on his contract left, but we need to bring in a centre half. And I think Crystal Palace captain Mark Gaia is the man probably, but it's just how much money Liverpool are willing to spend. And of course, Crystal Palace might not even be in the Europa League next year. Of course, they won the FA Cup, but there is a decision pending from UEFA. I think it's been delayed till Monday whether they'll not be in the UEFA or the Europa League next year. So let's keep an eye on that one. But I do like him. He's young, he's fast, he's tenacious. He's not the biggest of lads. He's about 5'11" for a centre half. He's not fantastic in the air. That's one of his weaknesses, actually, in the air. But he's very good on the ground. Of course, he can get better, and he can, he can get better at jumps and stuff like that. But I do like him. If we can get him at a pretty penny, I think you're looking at between 40 and 50. He only has a year left on his contract, so surely Liverpool might leave that as late as possible and then bring him in. Let's see what happens there. And of course, we also have up front, who do we go for? I mean, there's Kerkez off Sporting Lisbon being linked to Swedish striker. The Alexander Isak, the other Swedish striker, will not go away. I just can't see it though, but you never know in football. Crazy times. Will there be someone left wing totally that will come in out of nowhere and go, wow, Didn't think we were going to sign him. Chiesa, will he go back to Italy? There's so many decisions, so many things to happen in the next few weeks. And I think it's going to hot up next week. The under-21 tournament over tonight as well. Obviously, Harvey Elliott and Kwanzaa. What's going to happen with them? Pre-season soon. That's only a few, 10 days away, something like that. Liverpool, Preston North End, they play in the first game behind us, and then even Asian tour in Hong Kong and Japan. But the other thing is, as well, for me, is they signed Preston North End goalkeeper yesterday, 28-year-old Freddie Woodman, on a free transfer. It's just filling in the gap for the third choice goalkeeper, experience in championship as well. I think it's a good signing for Liverpool. It's a pretty much easy signing for them. We have brought in Georgi Mamashvili, the Georgian keeper. Of course, he has his eyes on number one eventually. After his year on his contract, Alice Ali, the number one goalkeeper in the world, will still be there with us next year. But we're starting to build. We're setting in the foundations. We're ready to rock. We're ready to basically defend our title next year. It's not easy to do. It's never easy, as you say, to win back-to-back titles. But I think this team are building towards that. Everyone else is building as well. City have had a really good transfer window. Have they stopped? Probably haven't stopped either. They're doing really well in the Club World Cup too, but they could be third after Christmas next year. Same with Chelsea. Both of those teams, the heat and everything in the States. Let's see. All we can do is build, ins and outs, incomings, outgoings. It seems to be brilliant so far, but there's still work to do. Who would you like in at centre half? Who would you like to see to come in as striker? Who would you let go? Would you keep Harvey? Would you let him go? Kwanzaa looks like it's a done deal, basically pending medical to go to Leverkusen next week. So I hope he doesn't get injured tonight playing for England, 21's final again. But all going well. But it's still a few ins and outs coming. It's been a crazy transfer window so far, hasn't it? Been so exciting times. I cannot wait to see Florian Wirtz put on that new Adidas kit next season. Of course, Frimpong and Kerkez too. I mean, it's going to be unbelievable. Maybe you'll have another one or two, or maybe three in the next 3 or 4 weeks. Preferably you want them in before pre-season, because they bed in, they get to know players, they bond and all that type of thing. Even before they go away on pre-season to the Eastern Tour, you want them in. At least we've got these 3 boys in. That's huge. But if you can get another 1 or 2 in the next week or two, it will really help slot bed in. Because remember last year when he took over from the iconic Jurgen Norbert Klopp, he didn't have this. He just didn't have it. He came in late. He let all the stuff die down over Klopp. Came in really late. Didn't have a proper pre-season. Didn't really bring anybody in. We know the story there. Only Chiesa came in, and the rest is history. We won the bloody Premier League. Number 20 deal was done. I think we'll be more involved next year, of course, for Champions League. Number 7 would be nice. It's not going to be easy, of course. PSG are probably the team to beat as well, and everybody else is building. Everybody else is spending money. But all we can do is keep going and build and try and make the team that we had last year even better. And I think right now you have to say it is better than last year. Defensively, left back, right back have definitely moved up a level. And of course, Wirtz, we just don't know. This guy, his ceiling is, world class level. Who knows? He stays fit, plays anything close to where he's been playing for Bayer Leverkusen in Germany in the last 2 seasons. We have one hell of a player on our hands. Yes, there'll be a huge pressure on him being Premier League most expensive player, potentially with add-ons, of course, and Liverpool's most expensive player anyway. There will be, but I just think this young kid, 22-year-old, will take absolutely everything in his stride. His family upbringing, his background, his peer group around him, just won't allow it. He's that type of kid. He grew up in a family with 10 kids. You know what I mean? You don't get a chance for a prima donna there, do you? Just don't get a chance. So I think Wirtz will be grand. Wirtz will be grand. And Frimpong is a funny character, similar to Rob. Always that type of funny, joking type guy. And of course, being Wirtz's friend, that does absolutely help. That's huge. That's a bonus. Easier for Wirtz to settle in with Frimpong to them there. The other side, of course, you've Kerkez, Hungarian international, and of course Sabozla is a good friend of his too, so best friend. So you've got that already. You've got that bedding in. They're not just walking in cold, So that is huge, I think, for the 3 players coming in, that they actually know people. And of course, Frimpong would have known the Dutch players as well. So I mean, it's fantastic. But the real question is now, centre half, quality. I'm talking about not third, fourth choice centre halves. Liverpool need a quality centre half that can step in straight away from day one if they had to against Bournemouth at Anfield. Of course, the middle of August is Bournemouth, so Kerkez should love that one. But and of course a striker. If you can bring in a striker, a quality striker that can add 15 to 20 goals, it is huge. It's absolutely huge, you know. So let's see what happens. But I think the next week to 10 days is going to be absolutely huge for Liverpool as well. So, I mean, the likes of Nunez, the likes of Elliott, the likes of Kwanzaa could all go. Then Liverpool maybe move for the centre half and maybe move for the striker. So huge 10 days incoming. So hit the like, hit the share, give us a sub, show us your care. What are your thoughts in the comments? Gaya, Crystal Palace captain, maybe. Or Dorkiez up front, Sporting Lisbon striker. Isak won't go away, but I think it's probably the least signing that we would make. I just think it's too much. The package is too much. Newcastle don't want to let him go either, do they? I mean, they're in the Champions League as well. They're building. But who knows? In this crazy world of football we're living in, anything is possible. But at the end of the day, we've done really well so far. The three boys are in and ready to work. I'm sure they're hungry. All they want to do is get that jersey. And it is weird, I know. The fact that Liverpool is just running down the Nike contract and all these three big signings have been made wearing the Nike jersey. I can't wait for the iconic Adidas brand new kits that they're going to be wearing. I think it's the 1st of August that officially that only comes in. It's going to be a late one because whatever way it fell, when Liverpool at Nike, it was during COVID and there was an extra month added on. It's usually meant to be the 1st of July if they're allowed to release the jerseys and the kits and the new brand and stuff like that. But I think it's the 1st of August now. Now correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's 1st of August. So they'll be in the shops and the LFC stores and stuff probably only about 2 weeks before the season kicks off, and you will see a huge selling spree and brand and advertisements for Adidas. You know, probably have to redo all their content with Wirtz, with Frimpong, with Kerkez in the Adidas kits and stuff. And of course, Wirtz is an Adidas icon, brand icon, so that should be unbelievable too. But I can't wait for that. But as I say, I'm really happy with the three jerseys. I mean, the green one, if it's true, it's absolutely beautiful. That's the third kit. The white one, it's basically harking back to the 80s, and of course the red. But those three stripes, you know, the Adidas, they're going to change the logos. The Liverpool logo, I think, will be different than all three jerseys, which is really unusual. Going harking back to the 80s and 90s. So, but I can't wait for that. And I can't wait for the three boys we've signed to wear those jerseys. So as I say, let's go. We'll stay on for another few minutes. It's just a quick Saturday morning chat here about the Reds and where we are right now. Three boys in, hope another 1, 2, maybe 3 in the next 2 or 3 weeks. Get them in, get the pre-seasons behind them, get them hungry, well rested and ready to rock and ready this title and to attack this, you know, defence of our Premier League title. And it won't be easy, of course. As I say, all the other teams are getting better. All the other teams are spending big money. All we can do is what we can do, and we can go and get ready to rock and roll. That's all we can do as a football club, and we have done it so far. Shout out to Richard Hughes, brilliant stuff so far. You know, absolutely brilliant. Of course, he is on the phone every day, I'm sure a few times a day, to Arne Slot. Him and Arne Slot seem to be good friends, good colleagues, and seems to be working. Michael Edwards is out in the background, so we really do have an unbelievable team at the moment, and it is building for success. I would like Arne Slot to be tied down to an extra extension to his contract, because remember, he only signed a 3-year contract when he came to Liverpool last year, so he only has 2 years left. I'd like another 2 years added on, an extension. That'd be nice before the start of the season, because only 2 years left for him. You want him to tie down long term for 4 or 5 years, don't you, to build a bit of a dynasty. That's what you want, and that's what I'm hoping Liverpool will probably be working on, because he deserves it. Coming in fresh from, you know, Feyenoord, yeah, he had a bit of, you know, people knew a little bit about him, but not a huge amount to be fair, and then to come in, wow, unbelievable, bang, Premier League. I wouldn't say easily done, but certainly a lot easier than people would have thought. There's no way. I thought Liverpool would win the league last year. I thought maybe top 4, something like that. Yeah, win the league? No. And did we win it? Yes, we won it, and at a canter at the end of 4 games to play, and the boys were off. So, you know, when everybody else was finishing the season, you were off in, was it Ibiza, maybe an Ibiza party and stuff like that. So they deserved it. They were the best team last year. It's go again. That was last year. This is this year. We gotta go again. And those Adidas kits, I can't wait for it. Full house, 60,000+ at Liverpool. Players in, players out. A new look Liverpool, maybe a new style. I don't think it'll be drastically changed. It's got to be more of a stamp of Slot's team on it this season, because we know most of it was Klopp's team last year, you have to say, except for maybe Chiesa. But this season it's going to be Slot's team. This is going to be Slot's project from now on. The dynasty can be built. It's not going to be easy. Got to get behind the team. Hope one or two more come in, as I say, in key areas, centre half and centre forward. But I believe in the team, believe in the project, believe even in FSG. I mean, you have to take your hats off to FSG at the moment. Spending big. John W. Henry will not be going on holidays this year because they are spending huge. The wallet has opened and hopefully it hasn't closed just yet. They had one or two windows where iffy, to say the least, even last year. But last year you might as well say, well, we won the league, didn't we? But we could have won more, maybe one or two other signs might have went longer in the Champions League. Who knows? But look, I think we'll attack the Champions League as well next year, go for number 7. I mean, it doesn't really matter winning the Champions League table and finishing top or finishing second top. It's all about finishing the top 8, really, isn't it? Because it didn't help us. I mean, we finished top. We're unbelievable. You know, finished out of Barcelona, top of the league, and we get PSG in the last 16. You know what I mean? They won it. So it didn't really matter. And number 9 now, please, says Shane Buckley. Yes, Shane. Hit the like, hit the share. Number 9, who would you like in? I mean, obviously Alexander Isak to me is almost in the sky, but I just can't see it this window. I just can't. I'd love to see it. Yes, I would. Of course I would, but can't really see it. I think there's too many moving parts for that one. I mean, Gorky off Sporting Lisbon is a good one as well. He looks decent. There's a few out there you might say, do you know what? Even Rodgers off Villa seems to have gone cold. I know you're interested in him recently, Watkins and stuff like that, but seems to have eased off, and people like that. In the centre half, I think Crystal Palace's Mark Gay, the captain, looks to be the one, but that's not done deal at all. I mean, don't even think Liverpool have put in a bid yet, but Palace will hold out on that one. They want to keep their best players. Of course they do, after winning the FA Cup last year. And we do play Crystal Palace, of course, at Wembley in August. Early August, in the Charity Shield, Community Shield, whatever you want to call it. It is Liverpool Palace. Another trip to Wembley for these all-conquering Reds as champions, with the gold badge on the shoulder in a new iconic Adidas kit. Cannot wait for that. That should be unbelievable as well. People are forgetting about that. Community Shield against Palace in August. Pre-season, of course, we think we play Milan in Hong Kong, and a few games in Asia. Preston North End, first game. And I think is it Atletico Bilbao or something like that at Anfield, or something like that. Might fill in one or two more, but Slot wants his team ready to rock for that Bournemouth game at Anfield, the first game in the Premier League. You want to attack it, you want to win that game. Tough enough start as well. So, and everybody else does. I mean, look, Arsenal got Liverpool, United. I think it's the first 2 or something like that. So look, you just got to go out there. You've got to play everybody twice as well. We know about it. We know how easy it is, but it is important to start well. It is important to start well, It really is. You get the momentum, you get the confidence going, and of course, you get the belief and stuff like that. So, and everybody is going to want to beat Liverpool, being the champions. Everybody's going to want to do one over Liverpool. That's just the way it is. Even more so, you would think, next season, So I personally cannot wait for next season. I'm already super excited. Tonight you have the under-21s final. We'll keep an eye on Elliott. We'll keep an eye on Kwanzaa against Jerry. Elliott's having an unbelievable season. He's put himself in the window. I'd like to keep him, but I just don't see a world where he plays enough games that he wants to play. I just don't see it. If we get good money for him, he gets moved on. He's still young. He's a lot to give. He could even get better. Maybe you have a sell-on clause with him, a buyback clause and stuff like that, like we do with Kwanzaa. Maybe go to Brighton. That's a good, solid club. Play really good football. I think that would suit him. Chiesa back to Italy, maybe. Nunez to Napoli. No, there's going to be loads of ins and outs. Shake it all about in the next 2, 3, 4 weeks. Huge. And all eyes on the Reds, but I cannot wait for it. But as I say, guys, not going to stay on much longer. It's just a Saturday morning here enjoying it. Liverpool in a really good place. 3 big boys in. Will there be another 1, 2, 3 in? There'll be 4 or 5 league. I am absolutely sure. But get behind the project. Arne Slot, wow, defence of the Premier League next year. But he's already had a good year. He knows what the Premier League demands. He knows the League Cup, the FA Cup, the Champions League. It all gets thrown in. He knows the winter, the games, the Sunday afternoon, Super Sundays, Anfield, the crowd, the away games. You look at the mid-table teams, the likes of Brighton, the likes of Brentford, Bournemouth. All these teams are getting better, getting harder to beat. No game in the Premier League is a gimme. There's absolutely no game in the Premier League. I mean, Leeds are coming up, Burnley are coming up. They are not going to be easily beaten either. They are going to be hard to beat these teams coming up. They really, really are. And I can't wait for them as well. I mean, Leeds away is going to be a tough one, isn't it? At Elland Road, it's never easy a game to play. So there's just going to be so many games, and it's going to be an unbelievable season. Yes, I think Liverpool will be up thereabouts. I hope they can win it. It's not going to be easy. City have strengthened. They will be a lot better. Rodri back as well. They will be better than last year. There's no doubt about it. They'll absolutely be better. Arsenal looking to move in the window as well. They're looking, if they can get a striker, they'll be decent. So I think it's a 3-horse race. I know people up in City. I think it'll be a 3-horse race next year. Is an early prediction for me. I think it'll be Liverpool, City, and Arsenal. I really do. And maybe even in that, order. Obviously, I'm hoping. I think if anybody finishes ahead of Liverpool wins the league. I think Liverpool are definitely top 2. So whoever finishes above them wins the league. But I'm hoping Liverpool finish above themselves and win the league, if you know what I mean. But those 3, I think, will fight it out. It's good for the league to have 3 teams pumping it out and ready to rock. You have other teams like Chelsea in the background, Newcastle, of course, rocking and rolling, adding. It's still early, end of June. There's lots to happen in the window. Let's see where we are when the window closes at the end of August. Let's see where we are 4 or 5 games in, We'll talk about it then. But early on, right now, you'd have to say Liverpool, City, Arsenal are the 3 teams everybody's going to have to catch. They're the 3 teams you would think will lay down markers and be favourites for the league. Obviously, I'm hoping Liverpool win it. We have a really good chance of winning it. It's never easy, as I say, going back to back. But it would be some statement, wouldn't it? Like Slot coming in, back-to-back titles. That would be beautiful. I'd like to go longer, further in the Champions League. Of course, I think we're just unlucky. We did so well in the Champions League last year to pick out PSG and ultimately lose on penalties, which is a lottery, really. And then they go on to wipe the floor clean and win it. So, yeah, a lot to look forward to. Pre-season, next 10 days are huge. Elliott and Quants in the final tonight. Keep an eye on that. Liverpool incomings, outgoings is going to be absolutely huge. I'll leave it there. Stay safe. Talk soon. Frimpong, Kerkez, Wirtz are in. Who else will come in on field? Door. I for one hope it's a centre half and striker. We shall see. Stay safe. Talk soon.